Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Dan Bayou and I am an industry pro makeup artist. I get asked all the time how I go ahead and create perfected eyebrows. And so I figured I'd make a video where I actually go into depth and tell you one way that I like to go ahead and do it. My muse, Miss Jocelyn Hood, and we get right into it. What I'm doing here is I'm using a clean spoolie to just comb the brows. As you can see, I did one brow already, and we're going to work on the other ones so you guys get a chance to see the process in motion. Here I'm using Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz pencil in soft brown, and what I'm doing is I'm basically sketching out the brow. I'm following the hairs of the brow because it already tells me what the shape is supposed to look like, and what I'm doing is I'm basically outlining the bottom, and then I'm going to be outlining the top. Now, I love this pencil because it's really sharp and has a nice fine tip point, and it really lets me get in there and do microfine hairs if I wanted to. Now I'm moving up to the top portion of the brow, and this is where you see that I'm basically making an outline. We start on the bottom and then we go ahead and do the top. Little by little, gently. I'm not going and pressing too hard because I'm going to go in and clean it up a little bit later. No need to rush. This is something that you just take your time, short and sweet. And on a personal note, I feel like my hands are incredibly hairy. Don't mind the hands, folks. And now I'm just going ahead and filling in the brow. Just filling in the tail, little by little, short strokes. And now you see that I did one side, and we're just going to basically try and mimic on the other side. Now, I'm going ahead and showing you with my straight object as to what I use as a guideline on how I map out the brows and where they should be. You can see here that I'm just going ahead and lightly filling the brow little by little, and when it comes to the front, the left portion, the inner portion of the brow, I don't like to have it too squared off. What I like to do is I like to slightly feather it inwards so that you don't have a harsh line. The shape is pretty much mapped out, but we're going to make it a little bit darker just to make it a little bit more crisp, just like how it is on the left. As you can see, the brow is looking pretty good at this point. I'm just taking the clean spoolie and combing through the hairs, and I'm going to just brush a little bit in the opposite direction right at the front so that we don't have any harsh lines. So right now I'm going ahead and I'm cleaning up the shape that we created. I am using the MAC 214 brush, which I love for this particular process, and I'm using a little bit of MAC Liquid Studio Fix foundation rather than going ahead and using a concealer. And I followed exactly around where we drew the eyebrow. And do you see how it cleans it up, makes it nice and sharp? Granted, not everybody's going to like a really crisp and sharp brow, but I feel like this is something that a lot of people ask because they love the way it looks. And so I figured, let me go ahead and make a video showing you how to create this look. And you can see I'm going ahead above the eyebrow and doing a little bit. Same as what I did on the bottom. Now you notice on the inner portion I'm going back and forth to slightly erase any harsh lines because I want it to look feathered, and we're going to perfect that even more so in a second. You can already see that it's coming together. See, now I'm taking a loose MAC eyeshadow brush. The number isn't really that important, and with a combination of dark brown and black eyeshadows from my Vise neutral palette, I'm just going ahead and softly going over the front. If you notice, I'm going in circular motions back and forth, soft, because I want to diffuse the front end of that brow. And I'm just basically going in now with that same angled brush, and I'm dipping into the same shadows, and I'm making it a little bit darker. Using shadows over top of the pencil makes it so that it's going to be darker and a little bit more crisp, plus it's going to set the pencil because that has a tendency to be a little bit waxy. And so this is going to make it so that it's going to last longer and it's going to last throughout the day, especially in the summer, which, you know, If you're anything like me, where I'm based, it's incredibly hot where I am. So you want your eyebrows to stay put and not run. See? And I'm just basically taking the clean spoolie and just lightly combing over, making sure that it's crisp. And there you have it. And that is a pretty perfected, cleaned up brow. They say sisters, not twins, but I try my best to make them even. I hope you enjoyed this video. I definitely enjoyed making this. Please feel free to thumbs up, subscribe, and share this video with your friends, and leave comments below.